can start anytime from now, eh? So we are working, so there'll be no need for video since we are behind the scenes and we are doing something different as we learn, as we remember. So there'll be no visual. Leo mtakaa hivyo kujiangalia. Now let's begin this. There's no need of waiting. Let me see kama imeanza. Kama imeanza, we can start. Shout out to everyone in the comments. Each one teach one. So leo I want us to look into addiction. Now the kind of addiction I want us to talk about ni addiction. Not very many people think about it. Na hii ni stress addiction. Stress addiction. Yani unaweza kuwa addicted to stress. Yani wewe bila stress hauwezi operate, you know? And pia hii inatoka mbali sana. Also this is also coming from what you call father wounds. Father wounds. Unaona sasa the thing is that fathers hawatakuwa na escape a lot of things. A lot of the issues that you have stem from father wounds. Though tuna mother wounds, but hii ya baba imekuwa noma sana. Hii ya baba, baba, unasikia baba, Selassie, unaona baba ameenda Selassie, MP ameenda watch football, amechapwa na ilia screen. Yani as a man, akichapwa, juana baba ya kulilia, ana baba ya kuenda mwambie, unajua nimechapwa, na yeye ni MP anakuja TikTok, anakuja kulia TikTok. But the real reason ile tunafanya alilie TikTok, alilie TikTok kwa sababu ati hawezi jiulizia. Kumbuke huyu ni MP. Kumbuka huyu ni mtu wako na bunduki. Huyu ni mtu wako na his license to carry a firearm to protect himself from hooligans. But he's still feeling very unsafe. Very unsafe. Reparenting Tuesday. Now, ukiangalia sana, or if you really go deep, one thing is very clear. The whole world, mumekuwa underestimate a father's role in shaping what you can call your emotional and mental health. A lot of the people wenye unaona wakitembea huku barabara, angalia hata watu, unaenda mahali, wenye wanaendanga na matatu, nasikianga story. Jamaa amekuja, jamaa wasako, amekuja amesomea dereva wa matatu. Sasa juu dereva wa matatu amesomewa na manager wa sako, amesomewa mbele ya abiria. Tuseme mko pale la tema sako, shout out la tema sako. Sasa juu dereva juu amesomewa na wakubwa wa sako wamemsomea sana, so he's embarrassed. So what does he do? So huyu jamaa sasa akiingia matatu ni kuwapeleka nyumbani. Kitu ya kwanza hakuna bumper anapiga brakes, ni kama nyinyi ndio mlimsomea. Because he's embarrassed, amesomewa na manager wa sako. You get where I'm going with this? Amesomewa na manager wa sako. So he's very embarrassed. So now he's going to risk each life. Everybody's life now is at risk. Kwa sababu alisomewa. How dare you kunisomea mbele ya abiria wewe, manager wa sako. Now this is stemming from father wounds, or the role of a father for your emotional and what you call mental health. So ukumbuke there's an absent father. So huyu ni baba, ndio alikuwa but hakuwa, alikuwa ball, hakuwa. And then there's the abusive father. So when you look at addiction, people who are addicted to things, alcohol, drugs, vitu kama hizo. When you look at people who are into crime, when you look at our men, Gikuyu men, you now have another big syndrome, a low self-worth. You don't feel like you are worth of anything. The way you dress, hakuna watu wanakuanga unkempt kama Kikuyu men. They have low self-worth. Umeshindwa na hata unasikia wakale, unasikia jacket ya mkale. Because at least wakale wako na a sense of style. Domestic violence is on the rise. So we need to start paying attention to the role of a father figure. So we need to create a world for men to heal themselves. And for a man to heal yourself, you have to deal with your past. You have to face it. Angalia kwenye umetoka. Now resolve your maneno. A lot of the decisions you are making are based on that. The way you behave is based on how you are raised as a man. The way you date is based on is how you are raised as a man. The women you fuck, how you are raised as a man. So you have to understand that this has an impact around the people around you. So you need to develop the skills to emotionally regulate. But leo hatuko hapo. That was just to break it. Sasa tunataka kuongea about stress addiction. So kwa maisha, no, let's do this tomorrow. So let's do a reparenting. Let's do this. Let's do a reparenting Tuesday. However, I'm going to do a reparenting Tuesday based on questions. Let's do that. Idhaa kama Kenya. Let's do that. Let's do a reparenting Tuesday based on questions, because whatever I'm doing needs a lot of my concentration, and when I'm delving into the teaching mind space, I prefer to be very comfortable, and whatever I'm doing is going to require my attention. But Q&A is easy because it's a Q question and then I freestyle. So leo ni Reparenting Tuesday ya freestyle, so you are free to ask questions. Na nikiona hakuna maswali, I just end the live, nifanye ile kitu nafanya. So let's start, no wasting time, okay? Let's do a Reparenting Tuesday ya Q&A. I'm working on my grow kits bag, so I'm seeding bags za mushrooms, so I'm gonna need a lot of concentration here. Ndio maana nimesema hii Reparenting Tuesday tuifanye hivyo za Q&A. So feel free to start asking questions and interacting in the comments. Na kama hamtaki, nitaweka what do we call it? Nitaweka music Spotify na niendelee. So it's on you now. It's on you now. Remember, we are in Aries, New Year. So panda kitu, panda maswali. Panda maswali. Hiyo si swali. Umesema you find yourself repeating your mom's wagoiwaja warauga. I find myself repeating my mom's life cycle subconsciously, and my mom sees it before me. Trauma is deep. Trauma is fucking deep, man. Trauma doesn't fucking play, man. I'm sorry. Sasa tuanze na gani? Sasa tuanze na wewe ama tuanze na nani? Tuanze na wewe. Na mbona uko na dusty hivi wewe kwanza? Why are you so dusty? All of you, I want you very wet. I want this environment to be very wet. So when you start. So imetoa happy dust. Where are you getting all this dust from? We start. Sawa. Start this. Tumesema ni Q&A. Parenting ya Tuesday leo ni Q&A, question and answers. So let's do this. Nani amefunguliwa hapa? Come here. Starting with you. Ready? You have to be sure of something. You cannot say that anything you say after I is very powerful. So be very careful with the words you use. The moment you start saying I is the I am. I is like God talking. The moment you say I, it's not even you. Siwe unaongea. It's your spirit itself. It's your soul itself. So whatever you attach to I, and remember you're not supposed to attach anything to I. You can only attach something that you know is supposed to go your way. Because your I doesn't know whether you are joking or you are serious. So if you say that I'm not sure, no, be very sure. The I knows. Okay? Yeah, so city trap, don't trap yourself with your own words. Be careful. Be careful with how you use your words. Be very careful how you use your words. Tasemanga, I think therefore I am. I think therefore I am. So whatever you are attaching to that I, make sure you're only attaching things that you want to go your way. Positive things only. Because what you are doing is spelling. You are casting a spell on yourself. So, yes. Questions. Is it possible to experience the 30 without regrets and spite? How do we achieve this? Experience the 3D. No. The 3D itself, you are here to learn. Everything is a lesson. Everything is a lesson. So the 3D itself, what is a three-dimensional thing? A three-dimensional thing is the idea, problem, solution. You are seeing these things from your environment. And one thing about the 3D is that the things take shape and form. Now, the shape and form that they take is just that. Is that a shape? For example, stability, something being stable, something being sturdy, like a table, something you can stand on. So, you can be at the dinner table, sindio? You can be at the dinner table, enjoying dinner, or you can be at the dinner table, clearing the table. Clearing the table. Or you can be at the dinner table, eating breadcrumbs. Ile kitu watu wamebakisha, wewe ndio unakula. So you see, the same rules applies. It's still at the table, but different experiences of the same table. And that's the most important part. So if you are at the table, are you at the table discussing gas prices? Are you at the table eating with or dining with kings, like Jagawa Mudaka? Or are you at the table eating breadcrumbs? It's a choice. All these are decisions. But the basic remains it's at the table. It's something that is shape, form. It's a 3D. Hiyo ndio kitu ya maana. Get it? Mr. Kariha Jeroge. So that's the thing with the 3D. So the 3D is very necessary. The 3D is very necessary. Tumesema ni Q&A. As we are working, look at your questions and I answer your questions. But let's keep it based on the theme of Tuesday, which inakuanga reparenting. Let's try and keep it more to the day, reparenting Tuesday. Let's keep it right there. But you can ask any question. I didn't say you can ask any question. I know everything. You can ask any question. Tuwezi sema unajua kila kitu. Mimi naweza sema, wewe usiseme. Wewe dina trauma zako. Pengine umezoea kuambiwa huna akili na wazazi wako, ukakubali hauna akili. Been there done that. We have been told by our parents hatuna akili. And then you sit back and you look at yourself, you're like, wait a minute. This guy ananiambia sina akili and I seem to be doing better than them in so many ways, shapes and sizes. So clearly kuna shida iko mahali. Ukiangalia unashtukia hiyo shida sio wewe. You know what I'm saying? Kama hakuna maswali tunaweza enda Spotify tukasikiza music. Sema watu ulize maswali, no questions. When you really want to kick game, sasa ile umeamua sasa tuende nalo sasa. Maswali na come out of nowhere. So which is which now? My heart, my waist. Mke nikupe, raha nikupe. Usinisumbue. Buka hii hapo. Why do parents find it hard to embrace their children's selected path? So one of the reasons is culture. One of the reasons is culture, whereby your parent as a collective wants to do what all the other parents do, aka mtoto wangu asome, it's programming, mtoto wangu aolewe, mtoto wangu afanye hivi. So it's wanting to belong. Na nionananga the parents who go out of the norm, who decide they want different for their children, are the parents who change these things out. Now, this is the other thing. Everyone is a narcissist. Everybody has tendencies to be a narcissist, including your parents. Kwanza, your parents are the number one narcissist. Now, your parent will block you as a child just because you remind them of mistakes that they did. So this is a position whereby you'll even find a mother, especially the mothers, jeopardizing their daughters intentionally. Unakuta mamako hata anaweza kutakia upate mimba ukue kama yeye. Ama if your mother is unmarried, she's going to make sure that your relationship becomes the hardest thing for you, so that she can be right. Ndio akwambianga, singekuambia wanaume si wazuri. Siona hata mimi nilikuwa. So we are all narcissistic as human beings. But there are some people who go overboard. And parents, especially parents, because they don't know better, remember this, you will always be better than your parent, no matter what happens. Sasa this is what is, asa pattern your maneno ya, the beautiful ones are not yet born. It has nothing to do with physical features. It's just that you are, wewe ukizaa mtoto, ujue that is an ancestor. That is a spirit, either coming to this world from another point, or being reborn. So, na ndio unasikianga ati wazazi wako ni niwasikia mtu akisema umezaa babako, umezaa mamako. Juu ni kama kurudisha, ni kama seed. And since we already evolving as a world, since the world is always expanding, we are always expanding into lighter. It may not look like that based on how the world is, but whether you want to agree or you don't want to agree, we are moving into lighter densities. That is why we are moving from the frequencies are becoming easier. Technology is becoming easier because we are moving into a lighter mind. Think about it like a mind. That is why sasa tuko 8G. That is why tukiongea maneno ya phone unakuta simu iko na 1 GB of storage, 1 terabyte na ni simu. But you remember during the computer age, 1 GB of storage ilikuwanga ni kitu ya kilo 10. So now you have a phone that has a 1 terabyte of storage. So it can store a lot, but your phone is still the lightest, just a few grams. So take now that concept and now bring it back into the world, the 3D. So your child is lighter. Ndio unaona watoto wa siku hizi wanazaliwa wakijua mingi. Yaani unaangalia mtoto hivi unasema hata ni kama kamtu kazima. It is a child, yes. Brain of a child, but it is more evolved. Hizi unasema ni wale watoto wanazaliwa na simu. Most of your children saizi wanazaliwa na simu. So mtoto akinyonya, ananyonya akiona screen. Huwezi mcompare na babako aliona TV venye alikuja Nairobi. 1985 ndio aliona TV yake ya kwanza. So based on that, your parent will always hate on the child in one way or another as a narcissistic trait. More so kama ni mtu ajijui, kama ako bado stuck in those old backward ages na kuna hiyo competition. So you will find that your parent will wish ill on you. Utakuta mamako ndio anajua ufai kuwa ukienda CS. Anajua vizuri sana CS mzuri. Anajua vizuri sana atasumbuka, but atakimbia sana, atakuwa greedy. But anataka kukuonyesha kuzaa si rahisi. Anajua unaweza push mtoto, but since anataka kukuonyesha kulea si rahisi, anakuencourage uende uchinjwe. Ndio akuambia nigura kole na tireidi, nigura morada leidero. You get what I'm saying? So we are all narcissistic. Unless you heal, you won't understand it. So we are all narcissistic, but then kuna wenye nakuanga overboard. Na especially based on how these mothers were raised, the baby boomers. Sasa ndio wanaharibu. So these are the women, unakuta ati unakuta mamako na bwana yako kwa kitanda, you know? And then instead of your mother admitting akona makosa, anasema huyu kijana anakuambia wahikilio ni muthuri mũru mũno, muthuri utari na hadavu agora nginyariko, na mamako ni yali mseduce. Okay, you get what I'm saying? Mamako ni yali mseduce. You may not understand it, but even your moms uchangia the boyfriends you meet. Your moms uchangia the people you settle with. Your mom atachangia. If your mom doesn't want you to settle with someone, trust me, hauta settle na huyo mwanaume. Hakuna siku utasettle na mwanaume mamako haja approve. You may think ati mama hakujua alikuwa Nairobi. Trust me, akitaka huyo mwanaume atoke kwa hiyo nyumba atatoka. So your boyfriend is, most of the time your boyfriend will be the boyfriend your mother would have wanted. Your husband is the husband your mother would have wanted, however he looks and however he is as a character. As a character. So it's a Q&A. Leo tumesema ni Q&A, so you're waiting for the questions. And as you're waiting for the questions, you have to tap the screen. Or if you don't, we can end the live. Siwezi jitapia screen na nafunza and I'm working. And nimesema mtu anaweza uliza any question. You can ask any question. Ndio na mwena igogona ya welcome the new year na aburi. Unaweza jienda kuchinja mbuzi na muna welcome the new year. How can you start the year with death? Wachawi wa Kikuyu, hata kama ni uchawi bana, mnaweza anza the new year. New year is spring, everything is springing into life. Na nyinyi mnaadhi gukomia, mnaadhi guita thakame. Aries murauga ni mbura ya kihu, ni hindi ya kuhanda, na nyinyi mwathi gukomia mburi. Meko andu ajehia. Wewe wachawi wa Kikuyu mko wapi? Na nimwambia muombe huyo mchawi ani unlock. Tell that huyo mrogi wa Kikuyu mnaitanga njehia, mwambieni ani unlock kama anataka tuwasaidiane. Lakini hamwezi, mnapenda, you love chaos. Most of you actually go there. Hata tukisema hivi mnaenda kuvisit huko. Am I a bad person to have already considered my parents dead even though they are still alive? Your parents are dead. My parents are walking, breathing, but they are dead. They are dead to me. Hakuna kitu my parents can add into my life. My parents actually destroy me. Every time, my parents have destroyed everyone. So there's nothing wrong with declaring your parents dead. Because this is the thing. You could be the more mature one. Especially ukiona when you're making a better decision than your parents, understand that you are older than your parents. Ndio, you came through them, but as a spirit, you are older than them. You are older than them. So actually your parents are your children. They are your children. Shout out to Rogi, because a lot of people will not admit that. But if every time you go to your parents, they drain you, you don't need them. You don't need them. Go where you are celebrated, not tolerated. Your parents sasa ni sisi. This soul group, the people you have here. Now this becomes the people who can reparent you. And then again, at the same time, you don't have to entertain them, those parents, as they are. You don't have to entertain them. But at the same time, hata kama you're not interacting with them, just let them be. Still remember that you choose them for a reason. There's an experience that you wanted to learn, and you decided the best way to learn this is if I go through these fucked up thoughts and feelings. So still, understand that you set it up. Bado you set it up. You still wanted to experience something through those parents. So never forget that. You set it up also for yourself. So once you learn the lesson you're supposed to learn from that, now become the better you. Become a better parent now to your children. Become the best parent to your children. When you are incarnating into this world, the closest people to bring you back to this world would be your cousins and your nieces as an extension. So wewe kama aunti yako alikufa, wewe uko na the highest chances kuzaa si mamako na babako, utazaa aunti yako. Utazaa aunti yako, inaendanga hivyo. Okay? Yeah. You feel better than your grandma, of course. Na ukitaka kujua hata angalia life path number yake. Enda uchukue birthday ya shosho yako, lakini shosho yako atakudanganya. These parents, these shoshos were even toxic. Shosho wako walikuanga toxic kuliko mamako na babako, ukumbuke hivyo. Ukumbuke, they were more dense. They were more still out of the forest. They were more in the animalistic nature. Ukisikiza story utasikia watu wakisema ati ndio tuwatengenagio nevava na vanga. Utasikia mtu alikuwa anakimbizwa na panga. Unasikia ati sisi wavato tengenagia na vanga. Unasikia mtu anakuonyesha maka aligongwa na babake, unashindwa. Hai. Unasikia mama akikwambia alikatwa na panga na bwana yake. These people had just come out of the jungle. Not the jungle as forest, but jungle brain. They were still very primitive. So this will be the parents of the boomers. Hawa wazazi wana hapo wenye walizaliwa 1927. Those people were still animals. They were still animals. They were still very dense. They are still evolving. Ile mnaitanga evolution. Wenye wamesoma sana. Yasomanga about homo habilis na hopocabilis, hizo vitu. We are still evolving, aka the world is still expanding. So wao wazazi walikuwa very animalistic. So the same way they were animalistic even in violence, no gwathuri acio matangi kuhekerera. Nikyo igua mundu yoka ati ndirari kwenjera kirira, we ni muhahi urari naguo we. Acio ti andu wa kuhekerera. Those people are very, even today, tunawaonanga even leo, wakikupea the wrong information. Even today, wenye wanaandika hizo vitabu, wanaandika the wrong information, wanajua. Mundu ucio rathi akahe ohoro we goria kwagirire. No tondu horo ucio ndura align no rio wi. Maundu marero tonero gutiari kiama tonero no ru hindi ya athuri ya kiama na ki. Tondu niamenya no mutikwenda agoka akogomia uhoro ucio aheo akongerera kaudu kanini getho hanane na uria kuri. These people are there. So don't think that the old people are going to help you in any way, shape or form. At our stand, you're the most toxic. They are the most toxic. Remember they raised your parents. Your parents are toxic. Unaenda kwa shosho yako ukifikiria shosho yako ndiye mzuri ama guka yako. Unaona? And there's that tendency. But sasa ukumbuke, huyo guka ndiye alilea mamako. Huyo guka ndiye alilea babako. Never forget that. It's like jumping out of the frying pan, jumping into the fire. It's just that they are more conniving. They are more manipulative. They are very manipulative. Ukitaka kujua they are manipulative, look at how they manipulate your children. Wewe saizi ukienda Gishagi, angalia venye mamako ana manipulate your child. It is the same way they were manipulating you mukiwa na mamako. Siana sia ikasimo kauserera showe. The same way they do today. Akienda kutembea, baba nini anagorire gikari kiki ndroni ene okienda gikari kiki. Asa na manipulate mtoto. ati umeletea shosho sausage. Si mnakulanga sausage sana Nairobi. Toto innocent anasema, sasa wewe unakulanga sausage gani gapi na venye umekuwa mkubwa? Mtoto innocent anasema, kila mtu anakulanga 2, auntie anakupikia mayai 2. Ndio maana umekuwa mkubwa hivyo. Auntie anakupikia mayai 2. Sasa ni shosho being toxic, anataka kujua venye wewe unaishi kwako. Ala, na kwani nikuulize, Daddy juu alinunua gari nyingine, anakujanga mapema nyumbani kama kitambo, sasa juu ako na gari mpya. Unajua ile nyingine pengine ilikuwa inamsumbua. Mtoto anaambia shosho wake, hapana, unajua Daddy saa zingine hata hakujangi home. Saa zingine wanapiga kelele na mama. So the same way they were manipulating your children today is the same way they were manipulating you when growing up. Wazazi wako wakikutuma geshagi. Never forget that. So what you think is a close relationship between you and your grandparents is manipulation. They started manipulating you as a child. Ni venye ulisahau. Na ndio maana ulikuwa unapenda kuenda kwa shosho. Because shosho na guka walikuwa wanakutreat vizuri so that you could give them information on their children who are your parents. Ndio sasa ajue kama ataitisha upkeep. Ndio ajue babako anasumbua mamako wapi, ndio ajue mamako anasumbua babako wapi. Never forget that. These are very toxic parents. Ukitaka kujua ni toxic parents, enda watch porn ya tushosho. Enda uweke granny porn. Granny porn. Utajua. Enda hiyo genre ya granny porn. Uangalie tushosho ushindo. Utu tushosho. Aka kashosho. Kamesema kanataka majama wa black. Na aka kashosho kalikuwa kanoma kakiwa. Wewe ndio unasema ni kashosho. Those are the same people. There's no difference. It's just that you choose to ignore. You choose to ignore. And shout out to all the grannies getting some dick in their old age. We are not hating on any grandmother getting some, okay? This is for teaching purposes only. Shosho akitaka kupewa miti apewe miti. How about a mother who died at birth? Would you bring him back? A brother who died at birth, would you bring him back? No. Unaona mtoto anakufa akiwa mdogo? And shout out to my handsome moderator for pinning the comments, naziona haraka. Sijui iko vipi now that I have a tiny family growing yet sina do ya kuwatenga. Rogi, mental, everything is paying. How about the brother who died at birth? Would you bring him back? Anyone who dies at birth actually doesn't even come back here. They don't come back here. Any child who dies at birth does not belong to this realm. In one shape or another. Does not belong to this realm. That is why amekataa kukuja kwa hii dunia. Anakuanga amerealize, oh shit, I'm going back to the same hell. So, hii hapana. Or they come back to this world, but they come back to this world as an oversoul. An oversoul. So this will be like your spirit guides, okay, hanging between this realm and the next. Hiyo ndio happening most of the time. Even a child who nini mnaitanga ni abortion. Hakunanga kitu kama abortion. Hakuna mama utoa mimba. Huyo mtoto ndio anakatanga kuzaliwa. That spirit ndio refuse kukuja kwa hii dunia. Hata kama ulichukua waya, hata kama ulichukua mokuha, ukajitoa mimba nayo, no matter how violent you are, it was not you. It was that spirit that decided mimi sizaliwi kwa hii dunia. I'm not coming back to this fucked up world. So I'm going to force my mother to reject me. I'm going to send hormones. I'm going to attack my mother. Because remember, this is something very alien to a mother's womb. Na tuko na hiyo ujinga umekuwa nayo kufikiria ati mnajua sana, unaona watu mpaka wakiforce mtu mimba. Ati mimba imemkataa, anapewa hormonal shots ndio isitoke. Hapana, wacheni mimba itoke kama inataka kutoka. Ni kama kufungia mtu akitaka kutapika. Ukitaka kutapika, mtu akuje kufungia hiyo kutapika, utasikia aje? It is the same thing. Let things take the natural way. Kama ng'ombe inazaanga na yakahuna, uragiria mundu ahune niki? Why do you think you are clever sasa wewe? If animals abort, animals. Ama inazaa inakula. Paka inazaa inaangalia kwa kapaka hivi, kitu inakaambia hii paka itatusumbua hii. Hii paka itamwaga maziwa, itafanya tufukuzwe nyumba. Inakula huo mtoto. It is the same thing. Humans are so detached from nature and natural. You are so into the artificial world. You have forgotten how nature works. Go outside and see it. Unaendanga nje, unapata ndege imeenda kwa nest, imeangalia nest hivi, imeona hata nikipea chakula katakuwa weak. So let me kick this bird out of the nest. It should be the same way, even for humans. Sasa nyinyi mmecreate laws, mmecreate vitu za kujiprotect, you know. We had a cat used to give birth and it's natural. Ndio maana ufai kuzaa kama uko ready, which is especially for Africans. Africans hujipata tu na mimba. Hakuna most of the Africans don't even plan for their pregnancy. Unaambiangwa tu babe, we need to talk. Asa roho yako inaanza kubeat. As a man, your heart starts racing. You're like, oh shit. Kwani kuna mtu alishare picha zangu nikiwa Manchester Derby. Sasa unafikiria unaambiwa you need to talk because of a girl. Ukifika talk unaambiwa I'm pregnant. So at first you feel relief. Then after relief, the next question, mimba ni ya nani? Unajua vizuri sana ni haiwezi kuambia kama si yako. But the first thing is denial. Sababu now you know for the next 25 years you are in jail. Ujue kenye mtoto atakula, kwenye ataenda shule, university ataenda mpaka amalize. It's your responsibility, bitch. Okay? It's your responsibility. So plan for your babies. If you can, plan. Hata plan nini mpaka the time atazaliwa. Angalia neni, I'm a fire sign, you are this sign, tukipata mtoto air sign, atatupeleka aje, wewe atakupeleka aje, na wewe atakupeleka. The same way the kings do. Enda uangalie mtoto wa Elon Musk. Angalia birthday ya mtoto wa Elon Musk. Angalia Elon Musk birthday yake, na uangalie mama mwenye amezaa mtoto. Enda uangalie Trump. Nyinyi hizo vitu. Look at all these people you call leaders pale juu. Gaza unapenda kuninvite sana kwa live zako na siku zangu. Gaza like inviting me to your lives. Okay. I think we should end this now. Nakai live. Live aina motisha. It is okay. Tuko lab. Tuko laboratory. And I'm in the laboratory. I don't even want your energy on what I'm doing. Okay, kwa dark screen. A honey bowl like this every day of my life. Gladiators. So I'm going to end this live. You know, we have 20 people watching and no questions coming in. So kama kuna, yeah, we had a cut. Okay, kama kuna question, and then we can end the live. We can meet another time. You know, na hakuna maswali. Napenda kukaa pekee, sijui iko vipi. It's good to be alone because you are going through a session of understanding yourself. Huyo shosho wako na 95 years, ujue she's 5 years old. Treat her like a 5-year-old. Mwenye amesema shosho yake ako 95. 95 is 14, which is 5. Ukitaka muelewane na huyo shosho yako, mtreat like a 5-year-old. Treat her like a 5-year-old. Shosho wa miaka 95. How does she control her sexual urges? Does she still touch herself? Ama mtasema anamkanga akiwa dry. Mtasema hakuangi na sexual whatever, mtamkania wewe hujaifika 95, kwa hivyo usijaribu kutuambia ati akuagi nayo. Shosho wanafaa shosho, these shows are very noticed. Si wanaonanga usiku TikTok wakisema tapu 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 tapu. And ask about libations. Can we talk about it? So libations, or offering food to spirits or deities that you work with, in this case inaweza kuwa ni ancestors, what you call, this is a spirit that was there before you, is a good practice. It's an offering. Libation is an offering. Libation is an offering. Now, not all spirits work well with alcohol. So ina depend na familia yako. Unaweza sema ati deda kuma hega sohi gaka manywe. No koma ti anyua ga sohi. No koma ti dete ga sohi. No koma ti dete ga sohi. No koma ti dete ga sohi. No koma